Have you ever had that feeling where you get your hopes high about something, right? And you get so hyped up about something, but it all crashes.
I think you're talking about life at this point.
CSK is life, guys, and that's what has happened. I'll tell you, okay? This was at the end of 2019. We were called the Daddy's Army as CSK, and we came to the finals just after winning the previous year. And I was like, yes, Dhoni is the guy. No matter which team you give him, he will be able to, bring them. He will be able to bring success with the team, right? And then 2020 happened. It didn't even have to take, half the tournament or the entire tournament. It just took me one match to see how CSK would perform in the entire tournament. And after match one, I was like, no, this is not CSK's year and we aren't qualifying.
Are you? No, bro. After the first match is only when I got my hopes high. They beat Mumbai Indians in the first match of the tournament.
That was legit. I was like, that's one thing good about 2020 and this is the year for us.
Exactly.
And I tweeted about it full on. Everyone agreed with me on how much hate I have towards Mumbai Indians.
And that is very interesting, right? We won the first match and yet I'm saying this. I'll tell you why. Dhoni was supposed to come 2 down, right? And we somehow won that match. Yeah. But then what happened? Dhoni didn't come to bat till the end. And in the presentation, he was like, no, I didn't bat for 400 days. I wasn't in touch. And I was like, dude, you're the captain of a team. You can't talk like that. Just because you're Dhoni and we accept whatever you say, doesn't mean you come on to a presentation and be like, see, I was out of touch from the game, yet I will play in the biggest stage and you will have to accept that, but I will not come and show you my talents.
Me being a Dhoni fan, listening to that harsh truth, whilst wearing a Dhoni t-shirt, this hurts so much.
I never thought there would come a day where I'll be complaining about Dhoni, man. It's Dhoni. It's Mr. Captain Cool. How can you
lose your
exactly?
cool?
How can you lose your cool about Captain Cool? How can you have anything to complain about Dhoni?
I hate complaining about Dhoni right now, but I have no choice but to do that because that's how it has been. He has not been responsible as a batsman. He's not been responsible as a captain. And I know it's not fair to just we are naming this episode CSK Rant, and we shouldn't complain about just Dhoni. But I think
we should also blame the man.
See, no. IPL has evolved to an extent where when we think CSK, we obviously think Dhoni. And I'm pretty sure there are many fans outside of Tamil Nadu who are fans of CSK just because it's Dhoni.
Of course.
I can name a few myself. That's why. So when you think of CSK, and obviously it's going to be about Dhoni at this point because CSK and Dhoni are the same.
But I think that's not the case with all of the people. But at least for the people from Tamil Nadu, they're like, Dhoni is obviously an element.
Absolutely.
But there's more to it. Remember when CSK was out for stuff and he was to... Yeah, but let's not go there. We don't want any more trolls from Mumbai Indians. So, but anyway, when Rising Pune Super Giants was there and Dhoni was there, I did not feel like I wanted to support the team. Even if Dhoni was there, the lack of, the absence of CSK did affect me a lot.
And this is a very interesting start to the podcast, I would say, because we wanted to talk about CSK, but we're ending up talking about Dhoni, right? And like you all said, CSK means Dhoni, Dhoni means CSK to most people. But people don't realize that most CSK fans subconsciously, although we love Dhoni, we love CSK more. And what has happened right now in 2020 is CSK is failing and all we're doing is blaming Dhoni, or at least what we're doing is mostly blaming Dhoni.
Are we blaming Dhoni or are we blaming Kedar Jadhav?
We're blaming so many things at this point.
We're starting by blaming Dhoni, and if you think about it, in the past when we won, again the entire team was responsible, but we gave Dhoni all the credit. In 2018, we said Dhoni led the team to victory. In 2019, we said Dhoni led the team to the finals. We always said, give Dhoni any team and he will bring success with that team, right? So Dhoni got all the credit back then, and right now we haven't performed well. And again, we're showing all our emotions towards Dhoni. Positive or negative, CSK means Dhoni, and Dhoni will take all of the trolls and all of the comments and all of the compliments about CSK. That's how it has been and that's how it will be as long as Dhoni is the captain.
Yeah, see, again, when it comes back, again, CSK is Dhoni and Dhoni is CSK. And let's talk about why CSK lost. Okay, instead of ranting about CSK, let's no more feelings. Let's think about the facts and let's see why CSK lost.
First off, we're not Gaurav Kapoor or any other big people. We're not even Srikanth. So
Srikanth doesn't talk facts, by the way. Srikanth is just mostly feelings.
I think with the emotions of Srikanth, but with much less knowledge. But anyway, let's get started on why we lost all of these matches and what happened. What is your theory? I feel like it is because of the team, and it was set for a place where off spinners and leg spinners could bowl well, and we had a team full of so many good spinners, and it wasn't an Indian climate.
See, that's what that reminds me.
And we weren't prepared for this kind of a location, right?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
See, like CSK hasn't made to the finals 3 times. I mean, in the years it actually played, 2009, 2014, and now 2020. We have no chance of going to the finals anymore. And all these 3 times, we didn't play in India. CSK is a team that is built for Indian pitches, and that's why it's called Indian Premier League. Man,
Exactly.
I can't accept it.
No, but honestly, I think CSK is a team that builds the team around the Chennai ground, and I don't think that's the way to go, because
that's true.
even though it is the Indian Premier League, you're only playing half your matches in Chennai. The other half is going to be in other grounds, which have different kinds of pitches as well. And it is so based on, everything going right, that anything, okay, let's say coronavirus wasn't planned, of course, but 2009, it was the general elections in India, if I'm not wrong, and that's why we had to go to South Africa. Again, we didn't make it to the finals. In 2014, if I'm not wrong, we had to play half the tournament in Dubai. I think, again, because of the elections, we didn't make it to the finals. All those were planned. And what I'm saying is, yes, we aren't performing well when it goes to other countries, but how come other teams are performing well at the same time? It means all the other teams are strong, irrespective of whether it is in India or it is in other countries or wherever location it is, which means the fundamentals are strong in those teams. In CSK, the fundamentals are not strong. If it's a spinning track, we'll win. If it's a track that sports pace, we won't win. That's how it has been. And I don't think that's the way you go about building a team.
Do you think it has anything to do with us retaining the same players for a long number of years? And because we have, like, the team structure hasn't changed much since its inception.
I think it's because we invest so much of our people, the team, on experience. We rely so much on experience. If you look at all of the people, like, the average age is about 33, 34, 35, and all of these people are so experienced, and we're not even denying that. We're just trying to not we're trying to be not double-sided about it. We're just trying to bring in more youngsters, and that's what all of the other teams have managed to do well. And that's how Delhi shined. And a lot of other teams have also shined in the same way. And IPL is always, as people say, it's about youngsters and bringing in new talent. But we haven't struck a balance between experience versus new talent.
And let's not call that experienced, to be honest. Let's not call that experienced. I'll tell you why.
By experience, I meant the
No, I'll tell you why. If we call it experienced, we're putting a positive label to it. Let's call them retired. Honestly, I will tell you why. Dhoni is retired. Raina is retired. Rayudu, I don't know, pretty much retired. I think he is retired. Faf is retired from almost all forms of cricket. Shane Watson is retired. We are playing with retired players. And they are players who play nothing but the IPL. They are players who are sitting at home throughout the year, coming for 2 months, playing and getting back home. They have no one to prove for. They don't have to prove their game to anyone else anymore. They're not attending selections anymore. It's just, you come, you play, you collect your check and leave.
It's like an elite-only group of people that you have to be so experienced to get in. But all the other
people one of the commentators in IPL, this is what they said about CSK. Getting into the CSK team is like getting a government job.
Exactly.
Once you get in, your job is secure.
And it's stability. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Jadhav is like that guy who got in through reservation and doesn't do any job, and he's just still there.
No matter how much you perform.
Okay, I'm not talking about
we're not going there.
No matter how much you perform in CSK, you will not be able to make it into the team if you're already into the team. Like, if you aren't already into the team, I'm sorry. And no matter how badly you perform, you will not get out of the team as long as you are in the team. Best example, Jadhav.
This is where favoritism comes into play, man. Like, I don't know whether Jadhav has nudes of Dhoni or the entire team. He's still in the playing 11. That was a running joke, okay? But see, think about it. When Dhoni said there were no spark in the youngsters of the team, the first few matches after they lost, I felt that was unfair. You haven't seen them play yet, and then suddenly you thrust them into a new field with everybody. Was a new team composition. Obviously, they lost it really, really bad.
Yeah, there was this set of memes and a post that said the brilliance of Dhoni in already deciding that youngsters won't perform well, and towards the end, when we know that we're not going to get into playoffs, and they're given a chance, like Chala said, thrusted without any experience, and you're like, they didn't perform well, and Dhoni predicted that properly, but they weren't even given a chance in the first place.
I'll tell you why that was stupid, because they weren't given chances. The presentation before that, the words he said about them having no spark totally would have, shattered their confidence.
Oh, yeah.
And the next match against Mumbai Indians, you send them opening in one down when Bumrah and Trent Bolt are bowling on the other side, swinging the new ball left and right. You ask them to go and face instead of having Sam Curran or the Watson. And then when they get out,
You're
you
like,
start
oh my
supporting
God, that
Dhoni.
is Dhoni. Yeah,
you start
exactly.
supporting Dhoni. Dude,
This is like a toxic relationship
right
that you
now,
have with CSK.
right now I said five lines, and each line I could point out the stupidity in the decision making of the team. Honestly, every single line, every single step of the decision making process in CSK after the previous match before Mumbai's was bad.
It was terrible, and let's take a break on the specifics on our team and look at IPL in general. This is a bad year for us, but look at all of the other teams like, oh my god, RCB, man. They're just having a good time with a very temporary phase of us not doing well for
Honestly,
a year.
they still lost to us.
And they still lost to
They
us,
still
leave
lost
that.
to us.
But they're like, oh my god, I feel bad for y'all that you guys are not going to go for playoffs. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot hear from all the trophies in front
If
of
we
me.
had won like a couple or more matches, and if we had a chance of going into the playoffs, I would have roasted RCB so much. Oh god, dude, I had so much planned.
I would still roast RCB.
Yeah, of course we will. I mean,
It's RCB.
RCB guys. And honestly, I do not hate any particular player in RCB. I don't hate the city of Bangalore. But being in Coimbatore and being, in a community of CSK supporters, we started watching IPL as young kids, right? Somehow it has been ingrained into our heads to hate RCB and Mumbai. And I cannot blame myself or anyone else for it. It's just a thought that I have. I cannot stop hating on RCB.
Okay,
But
stop.
the thing is,
Stop.
1 second. Just one thing.
One second, Rahul. Let's chill out.
Yeah.
I have one question I need to ask both of you.
Yeah.
Who do you hate more, Mumbai Indians or RCB?
I was getting at that. So RCB is the kind of team that I don't exactly hate. I don't really like it either. It's fine. If they win the cup, it's alright. Go take it.
Don't be so
It's
neutral.
fine.
You hate RCB.
No, I don't hate RCB. I'm being honest about it. It's just that if it's Mumbai and if they're playing against anyone, even if they're playing against Pakistan or something, I would want Pakistan to win. That's how much I
See,
hate.
for me personally,
Again, highly political statement. Calling Mumbai Pakistan helps.
Rahul is edgier than both of us today.
Honestly,
That's what happens when you bring me into the
comparing
camera.
Mumbai with Pakistan reminds me of the certain Bollywood actress.
And I thought our cancel culture episode was edgy.
Please. Alright. No, to answer your question about Mumbai and RCB, I don't mind RCB winning at times because I want Kohli to win, okay? Sometimes. Although I love Rohit Sharma, when I see them come out with those blue jerseys, I swear to God, I'll be like banging someone on their faces.
See, for me it's simple, okay? RCB, amazing team, okay? I love watching them. They're very entertaining. They provide a good show with their batsmen.
That's literally my tweet.
But their fans, man, they are unbearable. RCB fans are. I have my cousin. My cousin is an RCB fan. I love my cousin. Okay, I share every aspect of my life with him. But being an RCB fan, I would
Legend,
slap
yes.
the crap out of him. Okay?
I totally get
But
it.
in case of Mumbai Indians, no.
You would have disowned him. I know.
I don't even like that team. I see Hardik Pandya's face on the screen. Means I'll turn it off and I go.
But honestly, again, it's not about the players for me. It's not about the fans.
For me, it's about the players. Okay, Mumbai Indians. For me, it's about the players.
I'll tell you why. Because even if a Mumbai fan sees us and sees our fandom, they will hate on us. They will hate CSK.
Yeah.
And honestly, CSK has the largest fan base in among all IPL teams. And this is statistical as well because we have the most followers on Instagram. We have the highest.
On Twitter, it's Mumbai. On
Twitter, it's Mumbai.
Yeah.
Anyways, we follow Instagram. We don't follow Twitter. Honestly, we have the biggest fan base. No credits to Chennai as a city. Credits to Dhoni. We do have the biggest fan base,
Yeah.
right? And of course, when Mumbai Indians fans, RCB fans see the fandom that CSK have, they will hate on us as well. And that hatred is seen on social media, and I don't blame them. It's natural. And I'll tell you why it's the hatred for Mumbai Indians for me. The same players, the same Rohit Sharma, the same Hardik Pandya, when they perform for India, I'm the happiest person. I want them to score more. So naturally, it's not about the players for me. It's all about the team. It's the same blue jersey also. India also they wear same blue jersey.
And
only.
it's called Mumbai Indians.
Exactly, it's called
For
Mumbai
God's sake.
Indians. I don't know, man. It's not the jersey for me. It's not the players for me. It's just that Mumbai term attached to the Mumbai
It's the
Indians.
Ambani for me.
And honestly, okay, being realistic, it's all it's all ultimately stupid that we keep blaming umpires for every time RCB wins. But a small part of me wants to believe that because of the unexplained hatred I have for Mumbai. Honestly, if someone comes and tells me they fixed it and it was all umpires, I will believe them. I will blindly believe them because I want to point out that mistake at Mumbai Indians.
Okay, let's talk about the stupidity of our fans and what we all did. And
Hey, what? They don't come and
You're
kill us.
you're calling CSK fans stupid right now.
I
Guys,
hate
let's
our
get
fans
this,
for
let's
for
get
that.
this on record.
Yeah.
It was Rahul that called CSK fans stupid and not Chela. And
I am personally.
I'm wearing a Tala Dhoni shirt and you know how disappointed it makes me.
That's my t-shirt, guys. By the way,
But I am the Dhoni fan. It sucks to watch all of these people rooting for CSK, especially when they were messing up with that calculator net run rate shit.
See,
Honestly,
That was
See,
terrific too.
I don't mind fans, supporting a team even when they are losing. We have seen RCB throughout the years. Okay.
Yes. Honestly, how RCB fans are still RCB fans is beyond me. If CSK had lost 10 years in a row, 11, 12, I don't know how many seasons have they played, 12, they weren't banned like we were. And they haven't won once. And they still have loyal fans, man. If CSK did that, I would doubt if I would still support CSK. I honestly do not know.
Dude, we lost it with 1 year. The CSK spoiled us with 10 years and 12 years of amazing performances. That 1 year we don't get into playoffs, they start hating on the team so much.
I mean, it's not about loyalty at this. I mean, as Rushil said, if CSK had been performing poorly from the beginning, then there's no case of loyalty. RCB has been performing poorly from the beginning.
Pretty
I don't know
much.
how they have.
And
loyalty.
I'll tell you
It's
why.
not like they underperform. They actually perform well
Performed
every
pretty
single
well,
year and they don't
chokers basically. They were the South Africa of IPL basically.
Exactly.
They were chokers.
New Zealand. Yeah.
Coming back to why we're hating on I wouldn't say hating on CSK, why we're complaining about CSK is, dude, I love CSK, man. CSK is like my favorite sports franchise, like hands down, right? And even if they had fought all matches in, even if they had lost closely, I would have been like, it's alright, fine, happens, 1 year. But every match they lost, there was zero intent. It was like by the 14th, 15th over of the second innings, we know CSK is going to lose. And that kind of lowers your confidence a bit. If you think about Punjab,
you think when will I know that CSK is going to lose?
Yeah.
Whenever Jada comes in.
For me, whenever Dhoni comes in. Honestly,
For me, it's Dhoni.
Whenever Dhoni comes in, because I know he's going to take
See,
10 balls to get settled, and after he's going to get
Any
out.
season
He's
before
going to hit a
this,
6 and he's going to get out in the next
see
one.
any
Yeah,
season before this, whenever Dhoni comes in, it's a light of hope for me. I was like, oh yes, Dhoni's going to come in, he's going to smack sixes out of the stadium, and then we're going to win this. He's our savior. Remember the time he hit 15, 20 balls?
Yeah.
See, that is Dhoni for me. But then every time he comes in, you see this lack of motivation in
Exactly.
him, and then he hits like 6 runs out of 12 balls, and he goes out, and it seems like he doesn't care, man.
And it was all emotions piling up for us, okay?
Yeah.
See, if it was a series of losses, we would have bounced back. If you all remember, at the halfway stage of this tournament, we weren't 8th, we were 7th. And who is 8th? Punjab. Where is Punjab right now?
Oh my God.
4th. And I'll tell you why, because for Punjab it was a series of losses. It wasn't a series of disappointments. The first 7 matches, they played closely, they lost 2 matches in the super over. One match, they had to hit a 6 of the last ball to win, and he hit a 4 which was like 2 inches before the boundary line. Those are heartbreaks, but those aren't disappointments. Those are losses, and you can come out of losses. What CSK did was, it was a series of disappointments.
Which is also why RCB has loyal fans.
Yes, and even if you think of Dhoni's performances, Dhoni honestly never was a very consistent performer up until 2015-2016. He was a very good player for India. When he was captaining India, he was a very good player. If you take his IPL record, he wasn't a very consistent hitter. His best performances were in 2018 and 2019 when CSK came back from the ban. Every match, 50, 60, 70, even his highest score of 83 was taken last year or year before that against RCB. He was smacking it to all parts of the corner, all parts of the ground basically. And you have all those hopes built up in you, and you have all of that shattered, not just by poor performances. Honestly, no, I'm getting too emotional right now.
Why, blood? Same been shouting since the starting of the episode.
I'm getting so emotional right now, and I'm actually panting, okay? I cannot.
See, I also wanted to ask one crucial question. how much of this do you think can be attributed to the disappearance of Raina from that team?
Dude, don't even get me started on that, man. I feel like it's not that big a deal as what people make it seem like, because Raina is a very valuable player for CSK and has always been. And he, at the end of the day, would have been one person that might have led us towards victory in many of the matches. But with a team so flawed and with a captaincy so flawed this year and so much underperformances throughout all of the matches, one person, his presence or absence, wouldn't have made much of a difference.
But
I think it would have made an extremely big
at least in
difference.
terms of the player mentality, Raina's presence would have been a huge. I would say, see, Raina is part of a two-gear system of the CSK captaincy. Okay, he has always been the vice captain, and in the absence of Dhoni, Raina has stepped up. And I don't think Dhoni would have been as bad as he is right now if not for Raina. If Raina was there, they would have been two wheels working together, and it would have been a smooth machine.
Or maybe it's just a hypothetical thing. Like just like how Dinesh Karthik stepped down and Owen Morgan took over, that might have happened with Raina if Dhoni was giving a lot of underperformances.
No,
I don't think.
No, are you mad?
I feel like it might have happened.
You think
Raina wouldn't have taken it up even if Dhoni gave it.
No, let's question Rahul here.
Yeah.
You genuinely think CSK, Srinivasan and Vishwanathan would have said Dhoni stepped down from captaincy and Raina, you be the captain when Dhoni is playing in the team? You think you're actually saying
nice.
that? It of course would have been nice. It would have been nice to have 5 Tamil Nadu players play in the team as well. When we won 2009.
That's not how IPL works, dude.
Dude, that is how IPL works for CSK. I'll tell you
No,
something.
it doesn't.
When was the last time? When was our most successful run?
You are shouting a lot.
When
just,
was the...
Just because you make a louder point doesn't mean you're right. You can dial down a bit.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
I'm too emotional right now.
CSK, bro.
I'm too emotional right now, and you're making me more emotional. Listen, when was the most successful run for CSK? 2009, 2010, 2011. 2010, 2011, we won 2 continuous trophies, and 2011 we won the Champions Trophy as well. After that, we won another Champions Trophy as well. Look at the Tamil Nadu players in the team. We need strong domestic players. I'm not saying Tamil Nadu players. We need a strong domestic backup. We had Aniruddha Srikanth in the team. We had Lakshmipati Balaji in the team. We had Ravichandran Ashwin in the team. We had Badrinath in the team. We had We had so many domestic players. If I'm not wrong, I'm missing another domestic player as well. From Tamil Nadu, I mean. All the 4 I mentioned. Murali Vijay. We had 5 domestic players out of the 11. 5 Tamil Nadu players. And what that gives you is, it gives you a strong base. And even if the foreign players fail, even if the big match players fail, you have people to get you across the line, and that gives more confidence to the
It's
big
about
match
the new
players.
talent, dude.
No, I think
those people were emerging, and Murali Vijay was concreting his stance over there over those years. It doesn't matter if he was from Tamil Nadu or not.
No. See, it's also about the matter of representation. When you go and play for CSK and say you're from Chennai or Tirunelveli or Coimbatore, you are playing for your state. It's almost as if you're playing for Ranji Trophy.
And okay, forget all
But
of that.
this is not the
representation.
Ranji Trophy, dude. You
Okay,
think we have native
I accept.
Maharashtrians and Mumbai Indians?
I accept. Okay, fine.
Or Kochi Tuskers?
Okay,
Yeah.
I accept. Okay, let your point be there.
Yeah.
You don't need local representation. This is not Ranji Trophy.
I'm
What
not
he's saying
saying
is valid. No. Okay, it'll be nice if we have it, but it's not necessary. It's not compulsory. That I actually agree. Okay, which state has the most successful domestic T20 tournament? Tamil Nadu, TNPL. It is the biggest. If you notice, every other team has come for scouting to TNPL. They have taken players from TNPL, and they're bloody playing in the Indian team right now. Natarajan, TNPL, next bowler in the
Washington
Australia series.
Sundar.
Washington Sundar, TNPL, RCB opening bowler.
Varun Chakravarti, all these
Varun
people are there,
Chakravarti.
dude.
All of these players I'm telling right now are going in the flight from Dubai to Australia for the India vs Australia series, and all of them were taken by other IPL teams who came to TNPL. But CSK, name one player in the last 7-8 years that they have groomed, like Mumbai has groomed Bumrah, like Mumbai has groomed Hardik Pandya, like KKR has groomed Varun Chakravarti, a top class player that CSK has groomed.
The point I was trying to make is those people happen to be from Tamil Nadu, and we did not look out for those opportunities of utilizing the people from our own state. That I do agree with.
And
I'm just
building
saying
on your
it brings
point,
us back to the point of us taking experience over new talent, and that is the base of all of these problems. Representation and all of that comes second. It's just that we weigh too much of our team on experience. We depend on it too much.
See, okay, I think we're almost out of time. So, I mean, we can all agree that this year CSK has been quite bad, quite poor performing, and there are multiple reasons for it. And we can't just pinpoint one exact thing, at least in my opinion. Dhoni's captaincy is a huge factor, but even his captaincy could have failed for multiple reasons. So I think in the end, for us, loyalty matters, and we're all CSK fans.
We're all CSK fans, and although this hurts, news just came out that Dhoni will be the captain next year, and I trust Dhoni a little bit more. And maybe 2021 we will see a different team and we will see better performance.
I hope Raina comes back, man. Is he coming back?
We're no one to say, but if he comes back, it'll genuinely be nice.
It kind of hurts to see his Instagram stories where he posts pictures of him playing golf. Dude, you're playing the wrong sport.
It almost seems like he's doing this on purpose, right?
Yeah, dude, it's like, guys, I'm playing golf.
Alright, let's stop.
We'll keep ranting, man. I think
this podcast
is ranting.
This podcast was kind of suiting that you sat in the middle because it was Rahul and I going at each other, and you were the kind of middleman that kind of made sense. But that's how it is. That's how CSK makes us feel emotional.
I'm going to end it for you guys, okay?
Let's end it at
I'm going to do it myself.
Okay.
Please do this.
On that note, it's time to cut the cameras.